What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Peyton Manning, allegedly HGH and other steroidal-like compounds sent to his wife's house. Now, I am utterly conflicted with this because on one hand, you have a professional athlete who's trying to be the best they can recover from a neck injury using any means necessary to recover. On the other hand, the NFL is a tested, drug-free sport. And I myself am a promoter of natural bodybuilding and a huge sponsor of natural bodybuilding. So I'm conflicted as to which I see to be the right way. Should Peyton Manning have recovered naturally? Should he have taken the GH and made every effort possibly the best in the world? Or is what he did the right thing? Just try and mask it and play within the rules, which is don't get caught. Now, we have to assume that he is guilty for the purpose of this video. For the record, Peyton Manning has not been deemed guilty. For the record, the Broncos stand behind Peyton Manning and say that he did not use anything and he's telling the truth. And for the record, the reporting news agency is Al Jazeera, which I honestly don't know enough about to pass opinion on it. However, there is mixed opinion on Al Jazeera's credibility in the U.S. Me personally, I have absolutely no opinion on Al Jazeera TV because I haven't really looked into it, nor do I watch it. So I'm not going to say it's biased. Like I could say for a fact, you know, CNN, MSNBC, they lean way to the left. Fox News is all the way fucking there to the right. But I don't know what Al Jazeera is. I've heard rumors, but I haven't looked into it. I haven't watched it. I can't say a word. Peyton Manning recovered mighty quick from that neck injury. And it was a severe neck injury to putting up some of his best numbers of his career. Peyton Manning is also a boss. Peyton Manning, you know, worked his ass off. Now, I'm going to parallel this in a way that no one else can on YouTube because of my unique recovery story. But about, 2 years ago in February, I had complete abdominal reconstruction where my fascia was pulling apart. And I had 40 titanium screws put into my abs, holding in a layer of Gore-Tex. So essentially from here to here, you know what, let's put the picture right now. This whole area right here is 40 titanium screws with Gore-Tex underneath, pulling my abdomen together because due to poor genetics being a weak and thin fascia and large developed muscles, it literally pulled it apart, causing hernias to develop. Now, I've said this many times before on this channel, and I'll say it right now. I was accused of taking GH for my recovery because the recovery for something like that before you can start moving, walking, and even doing anything in the gym is 8 weeks. I went to the doctor at my 1 week checkup and he said, you're clear. You don't have to see me again. Just don't lift beyond your means. And in about 4 to 5 weeks, when the scar tissue comes in, you'll be 100% cleared to do what you need to do. The week after the surgery, I stood all day utilizing court, the Arnold Classic 3 days in a row. A week after that, actually 3 days after that, I flew to Australia. All things I was cleared for, which I shouldn't have been cleared for. Literally a week after surgery, I was good to go. I was accused of using HGH to have that recovery and steroids. First of all, no, I wasn't using it. Second of all, even if I was using it, I flew to Australia 2 weeks into the recovery, so I couldn't have taken drugs with me anyway. But that's besides the point. What I'm saying is that athletes heal faster. We heal faster. Now, like it or not, I know bodybuilders aren't athletes. Throughout my life, I've always been active. I've participated in athletic events. I played football. I lift weights. I'm in cardiovascular shape. Athletes heal better. Also, Dr. Stu at Paradigm Performance in Elgin, Illinois, from 2 weeks out from my surgery, put me through prehab activities, strengthening all the muscles of the body, all the core. So my body was already healing before it even started healing. Afterwards, literally the day after surgery, the doctor said, if I can move, I can move. I did 20 minutes of cardio at 1.4 speed. I could barely move and I had tears coming out of my eyes as I walked. But I could do it because the doctor said I could because I was putting no strain. I couldn't even hold in my poop or my pee because I have no core strength. Yet the day after, I was doing cardio. I increased it by 5 minutes a day. The Monday after, the Tuesday of my surgery, I was in the gym doing weights. Granted, I was on the hammer strength incline bench machine doing only 10 pounds a side. By golly, I did all I could. Every day I was in Dr. Stu's. I was getting rock taped. I was getting breathing exercises to work the muscles. I was healing as fast as I could. In a week, I was cleared. And I was at the Arnold, and then I was in Australia. And you have video of me 2.5 weeks after my surgery in Australia doing leg press, working out at Doherty's 24/7 with Team Massive Joe's. Why am I telling my own story? Because we can't judge the fact that Peyton Manning recovered really fast from an injury, as the article that I'm going to post down below in the description box basically says. He had an extremely fast recovery. You're looking at a very, very, very elite, the elitist of the elite athlete. He's fucking Peyton Manning. Secondly, it was shipped to his wife, and that under HIPAA laws is medical privacy. They cannot look into that. If it was a legit prescription for his wife, just because his wife got something, look, I mean, at the end of the day, women need HCG. I know a lot of pro bodybuilders who are natural naturals, whose wives had to take HCG or Clomid to get pregnant. Those were prescribed. Now, does that mean we can incriminate those natural bodybuilders based on the fact their wives had trouble getting pregnant? Also, if HGH was shipped to his wife, she could have a condition that could warrant HGH use. We don't know. So we don't need to incriminate. But let's go into the moral issue of this real quick, because I know that's why people are watching this. No one really wants to hear or gives a fuck about my issue. I just wanted to talk about it because it's my fucking channel. And I think that athletes, and I know it's a fucking fact, athletes heal better than sedentary adults. Our blood flow's better. Our heart rate's better. Everything's better. We're just better fucking athletes. Athletes recover. It is what it is. So just because athletes, they get hit, they get this, they get that. They're athletes. They're elite. Their body is trained to get beat up. I'll tell you what, that shit I just participated in about a month ago, you've seen human beings overcome a lot of things I've never seen in my life. And I saw it firsthand. And you guys will know about it in March. You'll see it. You'll see it for yourself. And even myself, I did shit that I didn't think was possible. The human body is miraculous if you have the right technology around you. And I'm not talking about sports supplement technology such as steroids. However, if you are Peyton Manning, you can afford the greatest treatment in the world, you want to get another 4 years out of your Hall of Fame career, and you can take an undetectable component like HGH to speed up your recovery, are you going to do it? That's a moral issue. Because I'm pretty sure they signed something saying that they're natural. However, if they don't test positive for it, not caught, I guess that means you're still following the rules. I don't know. All I know is that when you're doing a natural bodybuilding show, you do the polygraph. I am the first one to say the polygraph is a sack of shit. It doesn't fucking work. But it does weed people out. It is one more layer to get past before you can cheat. Are there always going to be cheaters in natural bodybuilding? Absolutely. We do the best we can through your analysis of the winners. Honestly, if the winner gets first place, the only thing it does, which pisses me off, which I've said on this channel, is when natural bodybuilders who are placed second or third and the drug user gets first and gets caught, like the ANBF did twice this year. All it does is take away that night of celebration knowing you're a pro. The feeling after winning a pro card, and I've gone through this myself, I know how it feels, is one of the greatest feelings in the world. So to have that literally taken away from you, where a week later you get notified by email or a phone call that you're a pro bodybuilder, that really fucking sucks, because you go home that night knowing that you were within one place of being a pro. That's the main part. But we will catch you through your analysis. Now the pros, here's the difference. Peyton Manning makes millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars a year. A lot of natural pro bodybuilders are making between $40,000 and $70,000 a year, raising a family or have other obligations, and cannot afford the drugs and the masking agents that Peyton Manning can afford. So they also win a trophy. They don't get paid. They actually lose money in the process because they have to pay for the lie detector and the entry fee and all that. There's no motivation. There's very little. The only motivation is being a narcissistic fuck who's willing to take away a trophy from a hard training natural. That's the only motivation. Okay? So at the end of the day, Peyton Manning has millions of dollars of motivation, whereas a natural bodybuilder doesn't. If I was Peyton Manning and I injured my neck, would I take HGH to heal? With millions of dollars on the line, I really can't answer that because I've never had that dilemma. And we truly will never know what our decision is till we're put in that. I'd like to say I wouldn't because I have never lied on a lie detector. Hell, I've never even been drug tested before this year. So, I mean, I couldn't say that. But I've never lied to pass a drug test. And I was tested multiple times this year. So I've never lied to pass a drug test. I'm looking to people say, you look to the right. I've never lied to pass a drug test. So there's my fucking truth. And I've passed a couple this year. It is what it is. I'm not claiming, God fucking, don't fucking accuse me of claiming natural. Please don't turn this video into that. At the end of the day, we got to give Peyton Manning the benefit of the doubt. This is a report done by Al Jazeera TV. There's a report, and even if it was Fox or CNN or MSNBC, I'd say the same thing. The media does dumb shit. Inside Edition, about a month ago, I did a video on it called Creatine a Steroid. Are we going to trust these mainstream idiots to call it what it is? Are we going to trust a media that is bought and paid for by Big Pharma because they run all the ads to fucking tell us the truth and to out people? There's only one thing we can do to really out Peyton Manning, and that's DNA or drug testing. Until we pop him in action, until he admits to steroid use like Lance Armstrong, we're never going to truly know. So until we catch him in the act of failing a drug test or actually putting a needle in his ass with the fucking DECA written on the fucking needle, there's no way to tell. So what does this mean for Peyton Manning? What does this mean for his legacy? Well, we're going to see. Peyton Manning's probably going to sue them for libel, slander, or something of the nature because he has to. Because he has to sue them to save face. However, I don't think this will kill Peyton Manning's legacy. The man broke his fucking neck. And if he took a little GH to get better, look, GH didn't make Peyton Manning one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Peyton Manning's epic training and his epic skill set that he worked on with hours of practice and being the biggest student of the sport in the game, watching hours and hours and hours and hours of game film week after week after week, day after day after day, that's what made Peyton Manning Peyton Manning. Him simply recovering faster from an injury, this should not hurt his legacy. This did not turn him into a home run hitter like Barry Bonds. If he did indeed take GH, it just put his ass back on the field so we could watch him throw more epic passes and run the line of scrimmage like no one else in the history of the NFL. Peyton Manning is still my favorite quarterback to watch. I don't care what he took. However, it is a moral dilemma if you are in a tested organization like the NFL, like the IFPA, the WPA, the OCB, the ANBF, whether you are in those organizations, the MLB, whether you think that beating a drug test is within your moral capacity. Now, the issue is most major league and professional athletes do something. They do something. And I got to say that it's really not fair. We have endurance athletes sleeping in high elevation tents to bring up their red blood cell count. If you want a fair race, everything has to be equal. Diets have to be equal. Training has to be equal. I always made a metaphor here, right? Not a metaphor, but a comparison. Could be a metaphor. Where like, okay, we played in the same league as Compton Centennial and Beverly Hills High School when I was in high school. Okay, here's the problem. Want an unfair competitive advantage? Beverly Hills had their own fucking trainers and nutritionists. You think Compton Centennial had their trainers and nutritionists? Drugs aren't the competitive advantage. Diet and training will be your competitive advantage. So is it fair to put Compton Centennial on the same field as Beverly Hills? Define what an unfair competitive advantage is and then call me back. I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Drugs and sports is a whole nother video. We'll delve into it another time. For now, Peyton Manning, still my favorite quarterback to watch. He is. Since I was a kid, I had the joy of watching Joe Montana, Steve Young, and other great quarterbacks in the game. Brett Favre. But Peyton Manning, in my opinion, GH or no GH, is still the fucking man. And that's not a game.